There are places on Earth that you're simply not allowed to go. Not because they're hard to reach, but because something about them is wrong. Some of these places can kill you within minutes, and others hide secrets that no one wants you to discover. And the most disturbing part? We still don't know what's really happening in some of them. From deadly islands to hidden government facilities. Today we're counting down 10 forbidden places you can never visit. I've spent years chasing hidden stories, secrets, and places people whisper about but never show. In this video, I'll take you inside the rumors, the facts, and the chills that surround these forbidden zones. So stick around. I've seen the memes and the late-night jokes, but Area 51 is no punchline when the stakes are national security. Officially, it doesn't exist. A phrase so chilling it feels scripted to keep eyes away. I want you to imagine desert heat, salt flats, a runway where the rumor mill births black projects. The fence is only the start. Beyond it are patrols, cameras, and policies built to enforce silence. People say they've glimpsed weird craft and strange lights, and the government's secrecy only fans the flames. I don't pretend to know everything that happens inside, but I do know the message is clear. They don't want you to see. If you get too close, those warnings become physical. Armed response, legal consequences, and a very real force ensuring privacy. That tension between curiosity and authority is what makes Area 51 one of the most forbidden places on Earth. And that's just the beginning. Because the next place doesn't just keep people out, it attacks them. North Sentinel Island isn't closed because it's trendy. It's closed because the people there will actively try to kill you. This small island in the Bay of Bengal is home to the Sentinelese, a tribe with no desire for outsiders, no tolerance for contact. I can't stress this enough. No visitors, no contact, no second chances. Government policy in India is strict. Approach, and you invite violence and irreversible consequences for both sides. Anthropologists have watched from afar. Every attempted contact has ended with arrows and warnings. The Sentinelese have survived isolation for millennia. Their hostility is a tough argument against modern interference. Whenever I cover this place, I feel the raw weight of ethical restraint. Some barriers exist to protect people, not just secrets. Chernobyl feels like the world paused mid-breath. A ghost city frozen in time after a reactor ripped through safety and reality. You read the history and the numbers, but standing on the perimeter is different. The air tastes like metal and memory. This exclusion zone is strictly controlled because radiation isn't uniform. It lingers in hidden pockets and in the dust of collapsed buildings. People who enter for research or escorted tours wear dosimeters and strict rules remind them they are guests of a damaged planet. There are stories of wildlife thriving and villages reclaimed by forest. But those scenes are layered over contamination that could hurt you years later. I visit ruins with reverence because the loss here wasn't only infrastructure. It was life and a trust broken by invisible force. And if you think that's dangerous, the next place might be even worse. Snake Island is not a tourist slogan. It's a survival warning wrapped in scales. Off the coast of Brazil, this island is a dense, slithering fortress where snakes outnumber any human and cake the terrain in lethal coils. Imagine landing on sand and seeing motion that isn't waves, then realizing the earth itself is moving with vipers. Scientists and officials restrict access for a reason. Every step could be your last. There's no safe path, no reliable way to clear the island without putting lives at risk. Even helicopters avoid low passes because wind can scatter venomous serpents. Snake Island exists as nature's warning sign. Some places are guarded not by fences, but by living weapons. But danger isn't always visible. Sometimes, it's hidden in secrets. The Vatican's secret archives conjure whispers of papal conspiracies, forbidden texts, and documents older than nations. They're hidden from public view not because the content is necessarily conspiratorial, but because preservation and control demand extreme secrecy. Imagine a library where parchment, ink, and mildew hold the turning points of religious and political history. And then imagine it locked behind keys that are never given to the curious. Scholars petition for access and are vetted aggressively, and most requests are denied or delayed for decades. The aura around the archives is thick with mystique. Ancient texts that were never meant to be revealed now fuel folklore. I wonder what truths or banalities sit on those shelves, quietly reshaping how we see the past if only they were opened. The secrecy itself is part of the story, and it keeps people guessing. But what if the world ended tomorrow? There's actually a place built for that. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault is one of the few places where restricted access feels comforting rather than sinister. Carved into Arctic permafrost, the vault holds millions of seed samples, humanity's backup plan if crops fail worldwide. Access is tightly controlled because this isn't just a warehouse. It's a guarantee for future food security, entrusted to a small number of stewards. Walking toward that concrete entrance feels like approaching a bank, protecting the future of life on Earth, and the silence around it is intentional. Scientists deposit duplicates from across the globe, and the vault operates under strict protocols to prevent contamination or theft. When I think of forbidden places, this one is a paradox, closed to the public to protect us all. That grave, hopeful mission makes it both sacred and off-limits. But some places aren't dangerous. They're just too fragile to exist with us. Lascaux is a fragile echo. Prehistoric paintings that taught us how ancient humans saw the world, shuddered because breath and bodies destroy what they created. The original caves were closed after visitors raised humidity and bacteria that ate at 20,000-year-old pigment. Now a replica stands for tourists, while the real gallery remains tightly controlled and largely off-limits to preserve those fragile masterpieces. Bulls, horses, human hands, painted by early artists, you feel a direct, intimate line to our ancestors. And that intimacy is why access is restricted. Scientists and conservators rotate who can enter, and even then precautions are severe to avoid degradation. Lascaux reminds me that some beauty demands distance, and preservation sometimes requires secrecy. And now, we're going somewhere far deeper, where almost nothing is known. The Mariana Trench is where Earth folds into itself and swallows light, an abyss so deep it challenges imagination and instrumentation. I like to think of it as the planet's basement, a place we can touch only with rare submersibles and the most daring robotic explorers. The trench is effectively forbidden because the depths are inhospitable to humans and incredibly expensive to access. The pressure down there would squeeze a steel capsule to nothing in seconds. Beyond danger, it's forbidden by nature. Crushing cold, absolute darkness, and creatures adapted to an alien reality. Scientists drop remote vehicles and wait with bated breath for data that may reveal new life forms and ecosystem rules. We respect that boundary not merely out of fear, but because our technology and bodies are not meant for that world. The Mariana Trench feels like a locked chapter of Earth's story, written in pressure and midnight. And somehow, things get even more secretive. Bohemian Grove sits in California, redwoods, like a secret theater for power and ritual, a place where elite figures gather off-camera, off the record. The Grove's rules are plain. No cameras, no recordings, and a fierce privacy that has fed conspiracy theories for decades. People who've tried to document it faced legal pushes and logistical barriers, and the imagery that does leak out is staged as if to preserve the mystique. I'm not recounting fantasy here. I'm saying powerful men have meetings in private under the excuse of retreat and recreation. That private sphere gives rise to speculation about deals and influence made outside public view. When I imagine infiltrating it, the ethical line is sharp. Exposing hidden power can matter, but so can respecting privacy and the law. Bohemian Grove remains a closed circle where secrecy itself has social power. And finally, we reach one of the most mysterious places on this list. Room 39 is whispered about in intelligence circles like a legend that pays bills and hides operations, a section of North Korean bureaucracy designed to never be understood. It's described as the regime's slush fund, funneling profits from legal enterprises, funneling profits from illegal enterprises to keep the state afloat and its elites comfortable. Attempts to trace its money lead into a maze shell company's secret accounts, diplomatic obfuscation designed to deflect discovery. The more I dig into stories about Room 39, the colder the feeling. Total secrecy wrapped in systemic power enforced by a state that tolerates almost no intrusion. Journalists talk about it with lowered voices. Diplomats talk about it with lowered voices because exposure invites danger or diplomatic fallout. This isn't a place you can petition to visit. It's a mechanism that thrives on being invisible and untouchable. Designed to never be understood, Room 39 embodies a level of secrecy that chills even seasoned investigators. These are places you're not allowed to visit. And maybe that's for a good reason. But the real question is, what are they hiding? And if someone actually got inside, would they ever come back? I've shown you restricted runways, isolated islands, sealed archives, depths that swallow light, each one a different reason to stay away, and each one a different kind of threat or protection. Some barriers exist to keep us safe from harm, while others exist to keep power opaque and history locked away. As always, I'm torn between curiosity and caution, and that tension is the engine of every story like this. If you like diving into forbidden places, smash the like button, subscribe, and tell me which one you want me to investigate further, responsibly, legally, and with as much respect as these places demand.